Brace yourself, my friends. This one is insane. If you thought Canada's MAID program, Medical Assistance in Dying, was a nightmare of so-called compassion killing, just wait until you hear how low they have sunk now. Canadian doctor met a man at a coffee shop, euthanized him 2 hours later. Ontario man dies of MAID after being assessed outside Tim Hortons. In a second case, the same doctor failed to administer one of 3 drugs used in assisted deaths, and the patient resumed spontaneously breathing after being pronounced dead. Drive-through death, anyone? A Canadian doctor literally meets a man at a Tim Hortons coffee shop, assesses him for euthanasia in the parking lot, drives him to the site 2 hours later, and ends his life. This isn't healthcare, guys. This is the normalization of killing as a solution for suffering. And it certainly has nothing to do with compassion. It's cheap, it's easy, it's the government and the medical establishment washing their hands of the hard work of having to help people live with dignity. So let's cut right through the spin right now, shall we? Thomas Dillon was 45 years old. He had long-term Crohn's disease, depression, social isolation, alcohol issues, and a history of mental health struggles. His family wanted to help him live, not to die. But instead of real support, treatment, or even proper mental health care, Dr. James McLean green-lights him for death under Track 2 of MAID. That's the one for people whose death isn't reasonably foreseeable, but who claim intolerable suffering. No terminal illness is required, just a bad day, some pain, and a doctor who is willing to push the button. So just picture this. In June of 2023, Dr. McLean and a nurse practitioner assesses Dillon at a Tim Hortons just outside in the parking lot in St. Thomas, Ontario. A casual chat over coffee about ending your life. The College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario later called it an unduly casual approach in an informal public setting. No formality, no deep dive. We're talking sensitive life and death matters, discussed like ordering a double-double. Then they exchange dozens of text messages planning the killing. The doctor even texts things like, "Sorry you have to go through so much grief. It's not about them," referring to his family, coaching him against his own relatives. Fast forward now to January 29th, 2024. They meet again at the Tim Hortons. Dillon doesn't want to ride with his sister, who shows up to try to intervene. So what does this good doctor do? He personally drives the guy to a funeral establishment, an industrial unit where they prep bodies for transport. At 10:11 a.m., he administers the lethal injection. By 10:22 a.m., Thomas Dillon is dead. 2 hours from coffee shop pickup to corpse. And his family wasn't properly looped in. They believed that his desire to die was driven by untreated mental illness and isolation, not just the Crohn's. Collateral info from loved ones was ignored. And this isn't an isolated horror story. The same doctor had another case where he botched the lethal injection. He skipped the paralytic drug, pronounced the cancer patient dead, and then left the house. And then the guy started breathing again on his own. He was revived after being declared gone. But don't worry, the college just cautioned him. 6 months of supervision. He can still do MAID. Business as usual in the culture of death. Remember when they sold us MAID as a last resort for unbearable terminal suffering? They promised safeguards. They said it was about choice and dignity. Yeah, that was the script. But now it's open season. Drive-through assessments, doctors playing chauffeur to the grave, and families getting sidelined. Vulnerable people with mental health issues, chronic conditions, poverty, and isolation, funneled straight to the needle because so-called healthcare has become a conveyor belt to the morgue. And MAID is exploding with thousands of deaths a year. 1 in 20 deaths in Canada now. We're normalizing this faster than you can say eugenics 2.0. A man in his 40s who was struggling, dependent on his family, and depressed. And the system offers death as the solution instead of hope, treatment, or support. When a doctor can meet you for coffee and kill you before lunch, how broken is the system? Well, the truth is, the system isn't broken, my friends. The system is fixed. It's working exactly as it was intended to. Canada isn't leading the world in dignity. We're becoming a global cautionary tale, a death call, where life is disposable, especially when it's inconvenient or costly. And the vulnerable are first in line. Secret death facilities, rushed assessments, and ignored families. This isn't mercy, guys. It's murder by bureaucracy. So wake up, folks, before more people are erased because the state decided that their suffering isn't worth fixing. Please share this video far and wide. Talk about it and push back hard against the expansion. If you haven't seen my exclusive, The Fight for Life Against MAID with Angelina Ireland, make sure you guys check it out. In this video, I speak with Angelina about her fight against MAID, the death cult activists that want to shut her down, and about the new facility that she is aiming to build in Alberta that will be called the Sanctuary Hospice. You can find a link for that in the description below. Support real care, my friends, not killing. Life isn't the problem. The culture of death is the problem. It's accelerating. And we have to stay on top of this, because if we don't stop this horror now, it won't stop at Tim Hortons. It will come for more, and it will come faster than you think. So hold the system accountable, my friends, before more vulnerable people are fast-tracked out of existence after a casual conversation at a Tim Hortons. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you appreciate this type of reporting that the mainstream media won't touch, please consider making a contribution at pressfortruth.ca/donate. You can check the links for that in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned, guys. I'm going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.